Hi, and welcome to the video on the GST, the Goods and Services Tax. By the end of this video, you should be able to calculate the GST and find the original value before the GST is added to the item. The GST is a tax that is paid when you purchase goods or pay for services. It is 10% of the cost, and what the customer pays is the final amount. Let's say we want to add a 10% GST to either a shirt that costs $65 or some pants that cost $110. To add a 10% onto an amount, we multiply our amount by 110%. That will include the original 100% plus an extra 10%. So $65 times 110% is going to be $71.50. Some pants that cost $110 will do the same thing. We'll take our $110 and we'll multiply it by 110%. The pants will now cost $121 in the store. That GST will go straight to the government, and the government will pay for services like roads, police, fireys, and teacher salaries, along with a whole bunch of other things. The cost without the GST for the shirt and the pants would be $65 plus the 110. That's $175. With the GST, it now costs the consumer $192.50. This is how the government raises money to pay for things. Let's talk about the original cost, because this happens quite often. We'll pay for something and we'll wonder, what is the original cost of the item? Well, if we multiply by 110% to find the cost of something with a GST, then to find the original cost given an item with GST, it is to divide by 110%. What does that mean? Well, let's say that we have the cost of a computer with GST is $682, and we want to find out what the original cost was without the GST. We can't just do 682 take away 10%. It won't work. We also can't find 10% of 682 and subtract it. Here's why. If I want to find the original amount, what I could think about is that original amount times 110% would give me my final result. So some number, that's the cost that we're trying to find, times 110% will give me $682. So if I want to work out what X is, I've got to go backwards. I've got to start with $682 and now divide by 110%. That will give me my X. So $682 divided by 110% is $620. You can check this is correct by multiplying 620 by 110%. It should give you $682. Let's look at a different type of question. Let's say I give you the GST of an item. So the GST of an item is, say, $75. We want to find the original cost of the item and what the cost of the item would be with the GST added on. That $75 represents 10%. The original cost of the item would be 100%. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply both of my sides of my equal sign here, the 10% and the $75, by 10. That will tell me that 100% of my item is $750. That's the original amount. The cost with the GST would be 110%. Well, if I know what 10% is and 100%, all I've got to do is add those two things together. And that will give me the cost with the GST, which is $825. Here's what you need to do. Pause and summarize the information on what the GST is and how to find it, also how to find the original cost, and have the example of the different question in your notes as well. And that's it. Hopefully now you know how to calculate the 10% GST and how to find the original value of an item before the GST is added. Good luck.